It's time for Recipe of the Day. I still have a bit of a cold and a sore throat, and so I'm quite happy to realize that the recipe I'm telling you about today is very, very short and very, very easy. It is for the easiest coleslaw, and what makes it so easy is that it only uses 3 ingredients plus some salt. I know if you've been following me on TikTok, you know that I have that mac and cheese recipe that went super crazy viral. It has over 3.5 million views at this point, I think. And I say at the beginning of that one that the recipe only has 3 ingredients. And then the internet went crazy because there is a debate about whether water and salt count as ingredients. And people have some strong opinions. They also have strong opinions about how I say the word that you know of as al dente. I seem to say al dente, and nobody likes that at all. Except for Marty, who also says it that way. But anyways, I digress. I said I was going to make this a quick episode, and I'm just chatting away as usual. So, quick episode, easy coleslaw, 3 ingredients plus the salt. So if you count salt, then it's 4. If you don't, then it's 3. The powerhouse flavorful ingredient in this salad dressing for the coleslaw is actually Caesar salad dressing. And you know, Caesar salad is so delicious and it has so much flavor, and that comes a lot from the dressing, and that's why it works so well here. But what I've found is if you mix it with a little bit of extra acidity, so, you know, like coleslaw often has some extra acidity, and then you're putting it on the cabbage instead of on the usual romaine lettuce, it is not identifiable as Caesar salad. It just tastes like extra good. It's rich, it's tangy, it's creamy. It's got some like garlic and a little bit of pepper. All the things that we love in coleslaw, but super quick and easy. Okay, I'm going to tell you how to whip this up, and then I'm going to give you some alternatives in case you don't want to use the Caesar salad dressing. So in a big bowl, you're mixing together a cup of that Caesar salad dressing, any store-bought Caesar salad dressing, or homemade creamy one. You don't want one of those more like almost like vinaigrette kind of like whipped with a fork ones. You want the blender style, but a store-bought one, because we're trying to do things easy here, right? 1 cup Caesar salad dressing, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and a half teaspoon of salt. You mix that together, and then you're adding in half of a head of cabbage that you've cored and sliced thinly. But if you want to make this even easier, you can buy a bag of shredded cabbage. It is sometimes labeled as coleslaw mix, and that's going to be a 14 to 16 ounce bag. Or if for some reason you are measuring this with cups and you want to know how much cabbage you need 6 to 7 cups of sliced cabbage. You're going to mix that all together in there. So first you mixed together the dressing, the vinegar, and the salt. Then you add in your cabbage and you stir that to coat. Then give it a taste, and you might need to add more salt. And I say that just because every Caesar salad dressing is a little bit different, and so we can't tell. So you're salting that to taste. But I'll tell you that I used Ken's creamy Caesar dressing last time, and I added an extra half teaspoon of salt in the end. Okay, now if you do not want to use Caesar salad dressing, you can instead use ranch dressing. That works too. I add a little bit of extra garlic powder into there if I'm using the ranch, just because I like that garlicky flavor in the Caesar salad dressing. Or you can use a creamy Italian dressing. Now, if you don't want to use a salad dressing or you don't have one, I'm going to tell you what you can substitute in for that cup of dressing. It's 1 cup of mayonnaise, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. If you want that like Caesar feel to it, you can add a half cup of finely shredded Parmesan cheese. That's great, but you do not have to. And then you would still add the 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and the half teaspoon of salt. So that's what you do if you don't have or don't want to use the salad dressing. And I will just say that if all this talk of coleslaw dressings and variations has you craving a variety of different coleslaw ideas, I will put links in the show notes for all of my favorite coleslaw recipes, or head to cookthestory.com and search for coleslaw. You will see them there. But my favorites are, I've told you about them before, my mom's recipe for her perfect creamy coleslaw. That's the one with the pickle juice and the horseradish in it. Oh my, so good. And then I have a coleslaw recipe that I designed to go with pulled pork. It uses brown sugar, and it just kind of goes super well with like the barbecue sauce and the richness of the pulled pork. And then finally, my coleslaw for fish tacos. It's so great. It has everything in it that you want to have in fish tacos. So I make this like a big batch. Sometimes if I'm doing like tacos for a crowd, and then you just need like your fish and your tortillas, and then people just scoop the slaw right into there, and it's amazing. It's got like cilantro and lime and a little bit of spiciness, some mayonnaise and some sour cream. The coleslaw, super good. So I will link to the coleslaw for fish tacos, or like I said, go to cookthestory.com and search for coleslaw. Okay, I will put the link to the 3-ingredient coleslaw in the show notes for this podcast episode as well, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is April 7th of 2025. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.